Right, I'm back again. I thought I'd play a little bit of Dear Esther this time. It's a lot easier on the brain than Pathologic 2 is. And I do really enjoy a walking simulator.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
While I'm playing this, every time the narration comes up, I will almost certainly just stop talking. That is something that's left over from being in my mum's car. Every time the sat nav comes on, she'll go shh. So I hear narration and that's it. I just have to shh myself. So you can all suffer through that with me. I think this is a game that I enjoy a lot because it really reminds me of the coastal parts where I live now. And I've been using a rollator for the past few years, so they're a bit difficult to get around these days. This lets me live my fantasies of just walking like a normal human being.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
This game really does have some absolutely beautiful narration. I think it was originally just a Half-Life mod. I mean, it only cost me £1.19 for PlayStation. If you haven't played Dear Esther, or if you don't own it, I'd highly recommend you do. It's definitely not for everyone, but I mean...
At night you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs they are mundane. But down here they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Yes, boy, he's screaming. I swear, in every video I do, you're gonna end up hearing my cat. Hey, you're a chatty lad, don't touch the microphone, though. Yes, you are very lovely. God, I should call this channel Ellen and Her Cat Is Here.
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then? When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Oh, this game really does have some absolutely amazing lines in it. I think you could probably complete this game quite quickly if you're willing to skip over.
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Yeah, you could complete this game quite quickly if you're willing to skip over big parts of the landscape, but there's so much to explore. I do wonder if I would enjoy walking sims as much if I could, still do
Dear
it
Esther,
properly.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Now, I come from somewhere that's really landlocked, but now I live up on the coast of by the North Sea.
I would leave you
And this
presents
reminds me so
outside
much
your
of here.
retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
Truly a beautiful game, this. Sorry my commentary probably hasn't been the most exciting. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something stupid. Couldn't sleep, so it's walking sim time. You can suffer my insomnia with me. Get up here, am I? I've made a mistake. Let's see this route. I'll probably stop this at the end of the chapter and just play a chapter at a time. It's not a game to be rushed, this one, even if you can.
I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl, and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
Reminds me so much of where I live now. Walking up along the paths. You know, I already got a PS4 pretty much just for this game, and everybody's gone to the Rapture. Just 2 Chinese room games, I love them. I think we're coming up to the end of this chapter. Had a fun time though. I always enjoy something like this. It's calming. It's the sort of game I was made for this. Doesn't stress you, nothing to kill. You just explore and have a good time. That'll probably be it for tonight, friends.